Yes, animals and pumpkins. It's that time of the year.
But we love it.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back here on Monday. News 3 at 5 starts right after this.
Ahead at 5, less than a month before the election, and there's controversy in Adams County. We'll explain.
A new ad campaign is targeting a specific group of voters. We'll tell you who.
Less than 2 hours until Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. The Brewers and Dodgers will have live coverage from Miller Park.
This is News 3 at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3. A few strange twists in a local sheriff's race tonight, just weeks before the election.
The challenger in the race is on administrative leave tonight, put there by his opponent and county sheriff. Our Madison O'Neill has more from Adams County.
You can find plenty of both Wolin's and York signs all around Adams County, but recent developments are giving voters more to consider. As the two contestants approach the November finish line, challenger and sheriff's investigator Brent York is on administrative leave, put there by Sheriff Sam Wolin this week, the same day the candidates had a scheduled debate. It all has to do with a 2001 case that happened in the Adams County Jail, where York was a witness to another deputy beating an inmate. That officer ended up in prison. This week, the Adams County DA, Tanya Bonnet, issued a Brady notice, essentially a note saying York's testimony isn't reliable because of sworn testimony from 2004 she says just came to light last month, where York contradicted himself. Wolin says in a statement that York was put on administrative leave until a determination could be made about his testimony in the case. In a post on Facebook, York said, quote, "It appears to my supporters and myself that this action was highly personal and politically motivated." Wolin declined to comment further. York hasn't immediately responded to a request for comment. York and Wolin square off in the general election November 6th. Reporting in Adams County, Madison O'Neill, WISC News 3.
The Appleton Post-Crescent reports that Bonnet has endorsed Wolin in the election, and York told the paper Bonnet was concerned about what York would say in public about Wolin's son, who the paper reports had been in legal trouble. Bonnet says in a statement to News 3 this evening, the allegations that York made in that article are, quote, untrue, and her decision to disclose the evidence was not made lightly.
All right, it's a chilly night for all you heading out for high school football. Let's get a look at your first alert weather. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield in the Weather Center. Dave?
Yeah, Eric, later tonight we have another chance of seeing some widespread frost and even a hard freeze in some spots, so an alert day is in the forecast for tonight, and we have a better chance of seeing those temperatures continue to tumble because of that clearing, especially across southwestern Wisconsin, we're really starting to see a lot more blue sky, and we can see that on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Temperatures down into the upper 30s already in the Dells, at 40 right now in Madison, 43 in Janesville. But those dew points, they're in the mid-20s, and that's a good indicator of how low those temperatures could go by the time we get to tomorrow morning. Wind speed's not too bad, so that's the good news out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. This evening, decreasing clouds and chilly with temperatures falling through the 30s, and we'll be below freezing by the time we get to tomorrow morning. We'll talk about the possibility of a few snowflakes over the next couple of days in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you. A bystander is being credited with rescuing 4 people from a burning home in Beloit this morning.
Firefighters say without this man and others stepping up, there likely would have been fatalities. Amanda Quintana is in the news center with the details. Amanda?
Yes, well, it's pretty amazing that there were no injuries in this fire with 6 people inside the home at the time. Take a look at what that house looks like now. This happened around 8:45 this morning. The first man to see the fire pulled an elderly man and a 3-year-old from a back bedroom. He brought them out to the front lawn and then caught 2 children that were trapped on the 2nd floor. Other bystanders came to help as well. They began to gather, helping 2 more adults out of the building who had to jump from the 2nd floor.
I think what they did was incredible, definitely above and beyond, what people what we would think people would normally do, that people would freeze potentially or not get involved in something like that. And what they did definitely helped, contributed to saving their lives.
Fire officials believe embers from cigarette ash caused the fire on the front porch. It then spread to the rest of the home. That home is a total loss, an estimated $67,000 in damage. Now at 6, we will hear from the man who originally saw the flames, why Brian Brewster says he ran into the burning home to help, and the pure adrenaline he says he was feeling.
Amanda Quintana in the newsroom. Amanda, thanks.
Republican Attorney General Brad Schimmel and Democratic challenger Josh Kaul are getting ready for their first debate. They're set to meet tonight at UW-Madison for a debate sponsored by Wisconsin Public Television and Wisconsin Public Radio. The candidates are set to debate twice more before Election Day.
You might start to notice billboards about voting while you're driving around Wisconsin.
It's all part of a new ad campaign that aims to educate people convicted of a felony about their right to vote. Rose Schmidt joins us now to explain. Rose?
Well, many people in Wisconsin don't know that if you've been convicted of a felony, you can vote once you're off paper, meaning you've finished all probation, parole, and extended supervision. The latest Sky 3 video shows one of 4 billboards in Dane County from the All Voting is Local campaign. This one's on South Park Street. This campaign launched last month in Wisconsin. The organizers told me they're putting up billboards in low-income communities around the state. They're trying to spread the right information and make sure people who were formerly incarcerated know they have rights in Wisconsin.
Once I told them that they do have the right to vote once they're off paper, the emotion that goes over their face and the knowing that they had sat out elections for decades because of this misinformation and really this form of voter suppression, it's overwhelming.
On News 3 at 6, we'll hear from these 2 gentlemen who were both convicted of a felony decades ago. One of them, Aaron, will be voting for the first time in his life next month. And if you have questions about the campaign, need help early voting or registering, visit togetherwevote.org or call the number that is on your screen. If you're not registered to vote, you can do so on Election Day. And again, people who have been convicted of a felony can only vote if they've completed probation, parole, and extended supervision.
A lot of good information there. Rose, thank you.
Thanks, Rose.
Well, after the most deadly flu season in decades last year, doctors are now reminding people to get their flu shots once again. The CDC recommending getting vaccinated for the upcoming season by the end of November. A local pharmacist is giving tips to parents whose children get a bit nervous about getting the shot. They say it is good for parents to walk through what will happen while the child receives the shot. They should distract their children while getting that shot and reassure them everything will be just fine. If you or your child are nervous about getting the flu shot, there is another option.
Besides the injection, the Flu Mist is available as an intranasal spray, and it's available for patients ages 2 to 49, and it's available for those who are typically healthy and not pregnant.
The CDC recommending pregnant women get a flu shot. A new study finds pregnant women who received a flu shot reduced their risk of being hospitalized for the flu by an average of 40%.
We're less than 2 hours away now from the first pitch at Miller Park as the Brewers get ready to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers.
It's getting pretty exciting, isn't it? All around the state. Our Melissa Kim joins us live at Miller Park with what we can expect in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Melissa?
Well, hello there, Eric and Susan. Yeah, the Brewers haven't been to the NLCS since 2011, so a lot of fans and the team themselves are very excited for tonight, and they're expecting this series to be quite a grind. The team announcing the roster earlier today, and Keon Broxton, he is out, but he is in is lefty reliever Xavier Cedeno. Now, manager Craig Counsell saying earlier that in the instance that this series does go to 7 games, they want to make sure that they have enough guys ready to go in the bullpen. Now, Gio Gonzalez starting on the mound tonight for the Brewers. Dodgers will start their ace, Clayton Kershaw. Now, both these guys have had ample rest so far in the last week or so expect an excellent battle on the mound tonight. Now, coming up at 6 in sports, we'll hear from Gio Gonzalez and why he thinks that Wisconsin and Wisconsinites are so cool. Guys, back to you.
All right, Melissa Kim live just outside Miller Park tonight. Melissa, thank you.
And as we said, all eyes are on the Brewers ahead of the game tonight, and some Green Bay Packers are rooting for the home team. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers says he's pulling for the Brewers tonight. Tight end Lance Kendricks grew up in Milwaukee, attended Rufus King High School, and eventually played for the Badgers, and he said he's pulling for his hometown team.
I used to go to County Stadium with my grandma and watch the game, so to be able to watch them in the playoffs is pretty exciting.
I think it's a good mix in any great team, good mix of veteran leadership, and then just you find that right piece. Yelich, who's had an MVP-type season, and it just all comes together.
There's a lot of excitement around the state, certainly brewing in Milwaukee, and should be pretty exciting to watch this game tonight. Fans from all over the state getting ready for this one. The Brewers set to take on those Dodgers.
Adam Duxter also made the trip to Milwaukee today. He joins us live outside Miller Park with how fans are feeling ahead of the matchup. Adam?
Well, Eric and Susan, we're still a couple of hours away from game time, but the parking lots would make you think otherwise. Fans filing in plenty early. The gates opened at 4 o'clock, and they were already ready to go. And I talked to a bunch of these fans that were out here tailgating earlier, and they said that a World Series appearance would mean so much. Again, they haven't been in over 30 years, and one fan I talked to said it would mean so much for the entire city of Milwaukee.
Well, for the city, it'd be amazing. It would just, they've never done it. Back in the days where the Braves were here, they did. But, it's been forever since they've won something. They've never won it. So it'd be a great thing for the city.
And make no mistake about it, it is cold outside right now. A lot of the fans switching some of those cold drinks for hot drinks. But I also talked to a fan who's out here today, and get this, shorts, a T-shirt, in sandals. And I said, how are you out here in sandals when it is so cold? And his response is absolutely perfect. He said, when you've been from Wisconsin for as long as I have, you learn to deal with the cold. Eric and Susan?
That's very true. We got antifreeze in our blood.
Yeah, he had help in other ways too, I'm sure. And also, they did buy that indoor stadium for a reason. That roof works. That's nice indoors. Adam, thank you.
Have fun, Adam. Thanks.
A restaurant in Milwaukee is getting in on the push for the pennant. George Webb Restaurants is at it again. It says it'll give away free burgers next week if the Brewers win tonight. It would be the team's 12th straight win if they win tonight. The restaurant's last free giveaway that many remember back in 1987. The Brewers won 13 in a row to start the season. Again, the team plays the Dodgers a little after 7 o'clock. First pitch, Game 1 of the National League Championship Series.
It's the final week for Prep Mania High School football. Can't believe that. The game of the week tonight is a battle for first place in the Capital North Conference as Lakeside Lutheran plays Lodi in Wanakee. Jay Wilson and Al Minert will bring you the game live on TVW and channel3000.com tonight at 7.
Well, there's more to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, an American pastor who is under house arrest in Turkey has been released. We'll have the very latest.
Plus, the death toll continues to rise after Hurricane Michael sweeps through the southeastern part of the country.
And it was the worst week since March on Wall Street. A bit of a bounce back today. The Dow gained almost 300. The Nasdaq up 167. S&P added 39. We'll be right back.
Harvest.
An American pastor who has been living in Turkey for about 2 decades is on his way home after being released from house arrest.
Pastor Andrew Brunson was released by a Turkish court. He had been convicted of aiding terrorists following the failed coup attempt in 2016. The court ruled Brunson had served enough time. Brunson has denied all charges, and the U.S. says it has not seen any credible evidence to back up the claims.
It's part of his testimony. It's part of what he's been through, and it's horrible that that's going to be used against him, and all these false accusations, all these charges. But he forgave those who accused him in court publicly.
President Trump says Brunson is in good shape and will visit the Oval Office tomorrow.
A high-ranking American Catholic leader has stepped down in the scandal over sexual abuse by priests. Cardinal Donald Wuerl's 50-year career in the Catholic Church came to an end today with a letter from Pope Francis. In it, the Pope accepted his resignation, but said there were, quote, sufficient elements for Wuerl to have resisted stepping down, saying there's a difference between covering up crimes and simply making a mistake. This summer, he became entangled in 2 major sexual abuse and cover-up scandals. His name appears over 200 times in a Pennsylvania grand jury report accusing him of protecting some child-molesting priests when he was Bishop of Pittsburgh.
Hurricane Michael is now blamed for at least 13 deaths, and it's feared that number will rise. Rescuers are searching for more victims in Florida's Panhandle, while people in Virginia and the Carolinas are dealing with flooding. Many residents in Mexico Beach, Florida, rode out the storm despite mandatory evacuation orders.
When the water started coming up, I was more scared there than any time I've ever been scared in my life. I could cry to think about it, because I didn't know it was going to stop. And and I'm thinking, what'll happen if it gets over our head?
Michael is now moving out to sea. Forecasters say the storm is actually gaining strength, but it poses no new threat to land.
Around here, a chilly weekend on tap. For those of you heading out to the high school football games tonight, grab a blanket, heavy jacket. Dave Caulfield on the backyard patio.
Yeah, those sound really good and necessary, especially over the next couple of hours, because skies are clearing. Unlike last night where the clouds stuck around, not the case as we head into the next few hours. Already seeing that clearing across portions of southwestern Wisconsin and some blue skies showing up in Madison as well. Speaking of things showing up, some portions of central Illinois saw some measurable snowflakes today, even covering some grassy surfaces. So all signs that the colder weather and maybe winter is arriving for some of us, but still fall for the rest of us. And we're looking at mostly cloudy skies in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. The almanac for today, forecast high 41, 20 degrees below normal for this time of year. I do think we'll get back into the 50s tomorrow, but that's after we start off Saturday in the upper 20s for some of us. Right now at 40 in Madison, 43 in Janesville, 39 in the Dells, and 36 in Watoma. Wind speeds out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, so that wind not too bad tonight, but clearing skies. Temperatures dipping through the 30s tonight for Friday Night Football, so the jacket, the blanket, that outerwear, you'll definitely need it because it will be chilly in those stands. An alert day in the forecast for tonight, widespread frost and a hard freeze as possible. Remember, when we talk about freeze, it's a one and done scenario. So a lot of us were in the mid 30s to start off this morning. I think we'll be more in the area of upper 20s and low 30s by the time we get to tomorrow morning. So that freeze warning and frost advisory in effect for much of southern Wisconsin. And really average temperatures at night and early in the morning are dipping closer to the upper 30s by the time we get into the start of next weekend. And it's really going to be the trend over the next 7 to 10 days to see those temperatures hang out in the 30s to start off our days. Tonight, mostly clear and cold with that freeze possible. Temperatures in the upper 20s. For tomorrow, partly sunny, not quite as chilly with highs in the low 50s. So here are temperatures over the next couple of hours, dipping through the 30s tonight for Friday Night Football festivities and starting off in the upper 20s for some of us on Saturday. But luckily, with some sunshine tomorrow, highs make it back into the low 50s. But don't think that these colder temperatures are out of here because watch what starts to happen as we get a little bit closer into Sunday. So there is a slight chance of showers late on Saturday after we get through that sunshine as our next low pressure system and cold front move through. That is not an illusion, folks. Some snowflakes could be possible, mixing with some rain showers on Sunday night at times. We'll watch that very closely. Our average first trace of snow actually shouldn't be happening for the next couple of weeks, but we have had traces of snow in September before. So anything can happen. The playbook is wide open. We'll just have to kind of adapt and audible with what Mother Nature calls. So your 7-day forecast showing these temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Slight shower chances, could be a few snowflakes mixing in later on Sunday. Then we are dry with highs staying in the upper 40s and 50s into next week. So here's a look at your first alert traffic update, taking a live look at John Nolan Drive and the Beltline. A little bit of slow go in both directions. We still do have that accident on Wisconsin 23 in Iowa County. That road is closed from Wisconsin 130 to Nelson Road, and we are starting to really see those delays build up on the Beltline closer to Stoughton Road and also in the midsection. Of course, your drive times this early evening, Verona Road to John Nolan eastbound, that's 12 minutes, average speed of around 25 miles per hour. And the Beltline to Janesville, quite slow, 47 minutes with an average speed of around 40 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update. It is chilly outside. I'm thankful that temperatures are getting into the upper 40s and low 50s tomorrow, but another chilly night is ahead of us.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Ahead on News 3 at 5, a new medication is helping people who suffer from migraines. We'll explain when we come back. Welcome back. It's being called a breakthrough for migraine sufferers.
A new FDA-approved treatment called Emgality is the third in a class of new drugs that aims to stop the headaches before they begin. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield has more.
Behind this bride's smile is a whole lot of pain. She planned the lighting and timing of her wedding around her headaches.
You learn to adjust your lifestyle around your migraines.
Melissa Cefello-Boyley got her first one at age 7 and ended up in the ER.
It's a lot of pressure, a lot of pain. It's hard to function. You can't think straight.
Through the years, they've gotten worse. She gets about 27 a month.
I've actually put ice packs on my head before, or I have an ice roller that actually kind of lessens the pain a little bit.
Her latest experiment was an FDA trial for the self-injectable drug Emgality. It's a once-a-month treatment meant to stop migraines before they start. Dr. Gary Berman.
This is a huge deal. This is the best migraine medicines that we've had ever.
Emgality binds with a substance in the brain that may cause migraines. There are no major side effects.
50 to 60% of patients get a 50% reduction in their migraines the first month.
So half as many headaches right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
It improved the quality of my life by 1,000 times.
And to Melissa, it's monumental. She went from 27 headaches a month to 3. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, CBS News, Minneapolis.
The drug costs about $575 a month. The company, Lilly, is offering some sufferers their first year of doses for free.
And stay with us. We'll have one more check of your forecast in just a moment.
chilly night tonight.
Yeah, we get another try at that hard freeze across southern Wisconsin, and that sunshine is coming out, so the sky is clearing, which would be better for us if we want that frost and hard freeze as temperatures continue to tumble through the 30s into the upper 20s to start tomorrow, and we're near 50 for highs.
Dave, thank you. Thanks for joining us. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 at 6. The CBS Evening News is next.